Hey class, this video is going to be used to help you understand the reasons why we have the seasons. I want you to first take a look at the different Earths being shown. I want you to first take a look at the axis on each of the Earths on your screen. Do you notice anything with the axis on the 4 Earths that are being shown to you? You should notice that the axis is pointing in the same direction no matter where the Earth is in its revolution around the Sun. The Earth's axis always points in a fixed location, meaning that it does not point to the northwest, as you can see here in each of the Earths, and then as it revolves, turns and starts pointing in a northeast direction. That does not happen. The Earth's axis is in a fixed location. Remember, the axis is what the Earth rotates on, and that the axis is tilted at 23.5 degrees, which you can see in each of these Earths on your screen. The Earth revolves around the Sun in an ellipse shape, and that is being shown by the black line here. We're going to first start on the right-hand side of your screen. Notice how each of the Earths has the equator marked on it. The equator separates the Earth into the northern hemisphere for above the equator, or the southern hemisphere, which means it's below the equator. For the first Earth here, notice how the axis is tilted more towards the Sun compared to the southern hemisphere. When the Earth is tilted closer to the Sun, that means it is summer. For us, summer starts in June. In June, we are tilted closer to the Sun, receiving the most amount direct rays of sunlight on June 21st. The seasons are opposite each other. When we have summer, known as the summer solstice, in the southern hemisphere, they are experiencing their first day of winter on June 21st. They have winter because they are tilted away from the Sun. Then the Earth continues on its rotation, spinning on its axis, and revolution around the Sun. 3 months later, we get to our next season of fall for us in the northern hemisphere. When it is fall, neither hemisphere is tilted more towards or away from the Sun. When we have fall in the northern hemisphere, it is spring in the southern hemisphere. These are known as the equinoxes. Equinox meaning equal amounts of daylight, no matter where you are on the Earth. If you're at the North Pole, anywhere near the equator, in New Jersey, or down in the southern hemisphere, or even in Antarctica in the southern hemisphere, you are receiving 12 hours of daylight on the first day of fall for us, or on the first day of spring in the southern hemisphere in September. The Earth, once again, always continuing and moving, revolving around the Sun, we get to our next season of winter for us in the northern hemisphere. Now we are tilted away from the Sun. Therefore, we are receiving indirect amounts of sunlight. The Sun is striking the Earth for us in the northern hemisphere more at an angle. In the southern hemisphere, it is going to be summer. See how they are now tilted closer to the Sun, and we are tilted further from the Sun. It is the opposite of what you see over here on the right-hand side of your screen. And for our last season, 3 months after winter in December, that brings us to March. And for us in the northern hemisphere, we have spring. And for the southern hemisphere, they are having fall. This is another equinox, which means that neither the northern or the southern hemisphere is tilted more towards the Sun or further away from the Sun. The reasons why we have the seasons is all because of the tilt of the Earth. It has nothing to do with how close or how far away we are from the sun. So to review, we have summer when we are tilted closer to the sun. We have winter when we are tilted away from the sun, and our equinoxes occur when neither hemisphere is tilted towards or away from the sun.